شركة سياب السويدية هي شركة متخصصة في مجال البيئة ومجال معالجة الملوثات النفطية، في مجال معالجة المياه الثقيلة أيضا. عندهم أكثر من مجال وشركة من الشركات العملاقة العالمية. فنتشرف أنه هم الجالا دينر سبونسر وجمعونا هاي الجمعة الحلوة المباركة. فيتفضل السيد طاهر أبا الحد مشكورا لإلقاء كلمة ترحيبية.
وشرفتونا، مرحبا بكم جميعا. الحقيقة نشكر أستاذ علاء ومنظمين معرض الطاقة والغاز كوجي في كركوك. طبعا هي فرصة حلوة، احنا صارنا عدة سنوات متعاقدين ويا وزارة النفط وشركة نفط الشمال، كانت فعاليات فعلا منعدمة، كانت في بغداد أو بصرة أو إربيل. فهي فرصة حلوة إن شاء الله نكون نقدم فشي نبرز احنا شنو شغلنا بالضبط هنا. وكراعي رسمي بهذا المؤتمر احنا يعني اكيد نتمنى يكون اكبر واوسع العام القادم، او في ايضا في المياه الثقيله، محطات معالجه المياه بشكل عام ايضا. وايضا عندنا بمياه الشرب، اعتقد ما راح نتطرق ممكن باكر اكثر، لان مركزين اليوم على قسم الغاز والطاقه بشكل عام والطاقه النظيفه. فيتفضل سيد سيرفاتي حاليا يبدي، بس نحتاج الأضواء.
Review what we are doing at SIAP. I promise to not go into any detail, just an overview of what we are doing. And after the dinner, I'll be here if you have any questions. Well, first of all, SIAP is a Swedish knowledge-based solution provider for environmental problems. Why we call ourselves knowledge-based? The reason is, when there's a problem, when there's an environmental problem, what we do is actually we create that knowledge and we apply that knowledge. So it means we are not bounded to any specific product or technology. We see the problem, then we find out what knowledge is required to solve that problem, and then we solve that challenge. That's why we are utilizing the best available technologies, different technologies. We do R&D for any specific problem. So many problems that companies usually cannot solve, we're focusing on that and we solve that problem. The headquarters is in Stockholm, and then in the region we have regional partner offices in Iraq and Turkey, which we are mainly working at the moment. Just to give you an overview, what petroleum waste, what oily waste, or what oil in general can damage to the environment. First of all, many different compositions of petroleum waste are major concerns for environment, for toxic, for human, animal, and ecotoxic. Will have toxic and genotoxic effects, which I don't go to details, but I'll show you an overview. It's not always about animals and humans, it also changes the structure of the soil. So if you have oily waste, usually the morphological change in the plant happens. Another source of petroleum waste problem, which usually we don't see, is radioactive material that usually comes with the petroleum waste, and which is very, very dangerous, especially in the areas that produce oil and gas. What happens to the water? Usually, many people don't see the effects of oil in the water because they don't see oil. Usually we separate by gravity and we separate oil, and we think that the water is clean now, so we release it to the rivers, to the areas. The problem is petroleum waste is not like oil. If you put it on a microscope, you see a lot of small droplets of oil still exist in the water, which we call it emulsified oil in water. That emulsion is not easy to see. This is in Tigris River, as you see. It's totally visible. This is a spill coming to the Tigris River. But the other photo is from water that usually you don't see any oil, you don't see any black thing in it. But when you put it in a microscope, you see what is dangerous. And then what happens down the line is actually fish deaths, lots of planktons, lots of aquatic environment system damages, and all that. Groundwater, the problem is then all of us are drinking that groundwater. We use that groundwater. Another problem of petroleum waste, which we usually don't know, is when we are drilling oil and gas wells, the problem is we also take out radioactive material. Earth's crust is full of uranium and thorium, especially in areas in the Middle East. So what happens is different sources of radium, radon gas, uranium, and thorium is also coming out, and we see it as a sludge here. We see it in the gas, we see it in the oil, and especially in the water. So we have to expect radon gas mixed with the water, we have to expect radium, and we have to expect radon. So what usually oil companies do, first of all, we have to see that this is not unknown problem. This is the amount of these radionuclides in different produced water, hardscape, sludge, and natural gas. For instance, as you see here, is in a sludge, we have records. This is recorded by IAEA, which is International Atomic Agency. In some of the oil sludge, we have between 50 to 800,000 becquerel per gram. Becquerel means becquerel is a unit of measurement of radioactivity. Do you know how much is actually allowed? Just 1,000. So when we have 1,000 per gram, it means that it's not, it's safe. But what we see here is above 800,000. So we have to be careful about that. What many companies are doing, they're buying small dosimeters, they put on the workers, and they see if the radioactivity is in the area. What is the problem with these small dosimeters? It doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? Because the sources of radioactive material in oil and gas is usually very weak sources. So if you have this device with you, you think it is safe because the radiation is so weak you cannot see it. The problem is these devices are designed for gamma ray. We have one particle of alpha is 30 times more dangerous than gamma ray, and it's 30 times more. So that is why petroleum waste, or what we call it NORM, naturally occurring radioactive material, is something that we have to be concerned about. So what we do at CR, we do a survey. We have very sensitive survey meters that we survey an area, and then it's connected to GPS. So for instance, in this project that it was a small area processing, it was actually not very, it's just a laboratory, but you see that some of the dots are red, which means that these are above the standards of radioactive material. So what we do in general at CR, first of all, we're dealing with all different kinds of petroleum waste. We know that there is no specific technology that can handle all different waste. Any problem needs its own combination of different technologies. Second, we emphasize on recycling. Many of the petroleum waste, as you see here in the lagoon or pits, are possible to recycle. They are actually valuable oil, so why not using them again? So our first priority is to reuse the valuable oil. The second priority is to do the bioremediation, which means using microbes, using organic additives. Then we separate water and solids. We also use high-speed separators or centrifuges to totally separate oil, water, and fine particles. What happens is recovered oil for reuse, so we can use again the oil. We also do the water purification to the standards, so we use the bioremediation, use the microbes to clean the water, and also we do the soil remediation. Whatever stays on the soil, dirty soil, we do that by bioremediation. So we can say we can have different solutions for different problems. Different combination of solutions using decounters or different types of centrifuges, shakers, all that depends on the project situation. And we use different equipments for different purposes. For instance, this is one of our projects in Finland. Here is waste from ships, from vessels. It's a big amount of petroleum waste coming from the ships, and we recover that into the usable oil, and we actually use that again in the power plants. Emulsion treatment unit, decounters, and high-speed separators. Another work we do is apart from the recycling, we also bioremediate the oil. What you see here is an example of oil. It's water, but it's polluted badly with the oil. What we did is we actually separated, in the earth, there are thousands of microbes living in the earth. So what we did is, based on 25, 30 years research at universities, they selected carefully what microbes are more powerful in degrading this oil. So we put them all together as a combination. We make a situation that they don't eat each other, because if you don't keep the balance, they actually start eating each other. And then here, for instance, this is an area, this is a pond close to a drilling area. Here what we have is a polluted water. What we do is we directly mix the bacteria with the water and inject it onto the problem area. So we don't remove the waste, we just keep it there. We start to pumping the bacteria on the surface, and after a while, then the oil will be disappeared. Another thing is that when we have no land, then we use composting. We use specific bacteria and we use composting machines to aerate and clean that soil. Or if there is very tough sludge, then we do the same, but we do the land farming based on the area. I mean, we have to decide. So what happens is these bacteria, they produce also enzymes, and these enzymes are catalysts to break down more hydrocarbons. So sometimes we add bacteria, we also add enzymes into that to actually stimulate them, help them to break down the bacteria. Another use of the bacteria we use is actually when we have spills, when we have black water in the sewage plants, or if you have a sludge from wastewater treatment systems. So any city has its own wastewater treatment systems, and any city, they produce sludge. So what we do is actually we use the bacteria on the sludge, we use the bacteria on the black water to separate, to degrade the sewage and make them to the fertilizer. And to just finish my presentation, we also do some new R&D projects, which we are working right now, for instance, in Iraq, is biodesulfurization. So we have lots of different types of sulfur compounds in the oil, especially on the heavy oil. What we do is actually we develop special streams of different bacteria that they are attacking sulfur and they are eating sulfur. What happened in the lab scale test we did was we could reduce 80%, different cases up to 30% reduction in the sulfur. So we add water, we add sulfur, we separate water, and then that sulfur is actually converted into the kind of amino acid.
All of us we are working upon, and we hope that this workshop or this conference will try to implement a national policy in order to make the concept of a green national team in a company or in much more cooperation with the private sector as well as with the NGOs in addition to the governmental sector. This is our aims, and this is our policy now, to work with a new idea to deal with the serious. I think this is a good opportunity to see what's the new technology, especially with these all highly expert people, and I'm happy to be here with them. Thank you.
احنا حاليا في ورشة مدعومة من اليونب عن طريق الحكومة النرويجية بالتنسيق مع الحكومة العراقية في شركة نفط الشمال. مشكورين شركة نفط الشمال، يعني الورشة يمهم. موضوع التلوث النفطي في كركوك والمنطقة الشمالية 4 أيام. أمس افتتحناها يومين براكتيكال، يعني اليوم كان اليوم الأول وبكرة أيضا براكتيكال، يوم الخميس اختتام. المشاركين جماعة اليونب بها المحاضرين. النقطة موضوع عن التلوث النفطي في مناطق النزاعات، يعني المناطقنا اللي احنا نسميها المنطقة الشمالية اللي هي كركوك ونينوى وصلاح الدين، باعتباري أنا مدير عام المنطقة الشمالية. ترجم لهم هي أفضل بعد ما واصل للسؤال أنا. لا بس أعطيهم بريف هذا.
About all this pollution in the war zone. So it's between also attended by Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Oil and NOC. So Mr. Ali has special.
It has been in cooperation, Ministry of Oil, Ministry of Health and Environment, and with the Crisis and Disaster Units in Geneva, which is all related to the UNIT program.
احنا كمنطقة الشمالية ضمن قاطع عمليات شركة نفط الشمال من أحداث داعش ولحد الآن عندنا حصر للمناطق اللي صار بها تلوث، اللي طلعت كوادر وزارة البيئة وصلت إلى المواقع وصورتها. 38 موقع في نينوى.
Yeah, it's after liberated the area of land from ISIS, the teams of
Ministry of Environment, Health and Environment.
They record everything by photos and videos. Only in Nineveh province they have 38 sites.
وفي كركوك 19 موقع.
كركوك 19 sites.
وفي صلاح الدين 13 موقع.
13 in صلاح الدين province.
معظم هذه كانت بسبب عمليات عصابات داعش الإرهابية.
All of this damage is become by ISIS.
وفي مواقع زراعية وقريبة من نهر دجلة الأخطر.
Yeah, some of them is very close to Tigris River and in agriculture area.
سببت هذه احنا نسميها هوت سبيلت، يعني مواقع الخطرة، سببت لنا برك نفطية كبيرة جدا.
This they call it hotspot and it's make very big lakes.
تلوث للتربة الزراعية وقريبة من نهر دجلة، أحيانا كانت تروح إلى النهر مباشرة. السؤال، شركة سياب، أنا أفهم موضوع المعالجة أنه عن طريق البكتيريا للمياه أو عن طريق المفاعلات للتربة، السويل كونتامينيشن. نعم، سنترفيوج بالضبط. هل هناك إمكانية للشركة أنه تعالج هالمواقع الكبيرة موقعيا، لموضوع نقل التربة الملوثة بكميات هائلة من الأطنان ننقلها إلى موقع داخل شركة نفط الشمال حتى نخلي لها سنترفيوج وكذا؟ هذه مو شيء عملي، معالجة موقعية. هل هناك إمكانية لها ولا لا؟
The question is, SIAB, they have capability to do this remediation or treatment in the site. I mean, and I will go to answer for this question. أنا راح أجاوب على هذا السؤال يا أستاذ علي. أول شيء شكرا مداخلتكم القيمة. بالحقيقة إحنا نعم موقعيا، لأن مثلا طلعنا كشف على القيارة يعني اكو تضارب بالارقام، وزاره النفط تقلل، وزاره البيئه تزيد. احنا راح نكون بالنص ان شاء الله. اي فلا يمكن نقلها يعني،
صح،
لان النقل ايضا خطوره جدا
وامكانيه.
نعم هي اكثرها يعني سوينا ادابت صراحه، معظم المعدات صارت ادابت، يعني صار موبايل يونت، ومثل ما شاف بالبرزنتيشن اكو قسم.
the red one.
Yeah, scheme.
It's portable.
Portable. Emergency. Yeah. فكلها صارت موقعيا المعالجة، حتى البحيرات صار نطلق البكتيريا مباشر، بعدين نرجع ناخذ إلى أن نشوف حد معين تنظف التربة يروح للمعالجة موقعيا كلها. نعم.
هو المطلوب انه الوصول داخل الموقع، المعالجه داخل الموقع، وليس نقل التربه الملوثه او المياه، لان ما نقدر، ماكو الامكانيه الفنيه والاليات، وخطوره، والمناطق شبه عسكريه تقريبا.
نعم.
ما ممكن حتى يعني التفاهم مع القطاعات المسيطره على الموقع.
لا احنا يعني البروجرام كله موقعي ان شاء الله.
فاذا تشتغلون بهذا الاتجاه احنا نستفاد وانتم تستفادون، احنا كدوله نخلص من التلوث.
استاذات
يعني مستقره امنيا.
بس انا انتظر حسب ما اليوم حكينا ويا الطاقة بانه السيد الوزير وجه بانه احنا في المراحل الاخيره في توقيع العقد
ملحق.
احنا معاكم يعني في مساعدتكم.
اكيد
الحقيقه
الهدف واحد.
لا انتم ما تقصرون يعني انا
لا نصيحه. لا وقلل من مستوى.
احنا استاذ نعتبره ويانا بنقطة الشمال
لا لا حقيقه حقيقه
مجموعة من الدروع التذكارية مقدمة من شركة سياب اللي هي الراعي لحفل الجالا دينر، حفل العشاء مؤتمر كركوك الدولي الأول للنفط والغاز والطاقة. ليتفضل السيد جواد رئيس مجلس إدارة شركة سياب. بليز ويلكم. هو سويدي جنسية. Ministry of Health and Environment Mr. جاسم دكتور جاسم الفلاحي. عبد الرزاق the General Manager of Environment.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And now to North Oil Company and its representative Mr. Azad, the Environment Department Head in North Oil Company. He is the Investment Commission Head in Kərkük City. Thank you for all of you. Thank you very much.